Abrams is NBC's chief legal correspondent and general manager of MSNBC, and Roy Black is a top defense attorney who's based in Miami. Guys, good morning to both of you.
Morning, Matt.
Roy,
Matt.
Roy, let me start with you. We'll get to the legal issues in a second, but as someone who practices law in Florida, just sum up what you're seeing in this courtroom. I've heard adjectives from bizarre to unconventional to inappropriate. How do you see it?
Well, Matt, you have to admit that Judge Larry is entertaining. I mean, it's a melange of mixed metaphors, fractured analogies, personal biography. I mean, it's riveting television at times, but at times I'm sitting there grinding my teeth saying, could this really be happening in a court of law?
Dan, let's listen to some comments from this judge, Judge Larry Seidlin, and then I'll ask you about him on the other side.
There's no circus here, my friend. There's no circus here. And you remember school when you had this big French Lambriath and you tried to get to the center of it? That's all we're trying to do. Money is the root of all evil. Am I right? In the old days, I'd take you in the back room and we would be chopping down some trees. Don't think I'm buying a Brooklyn Bridge here. When I used to teach tennis, I used to wear white shorts and a white top. It always looked good.
Dan, I mean, what is going on here? People say this guy's auditioning for his own reality show. Is this any way to run this hearing?
I've covered trials for 15 years. I've never seen anything like this. I mean, I sat through the entire O.J. Simpson case. I've never seen anything like this judge. He refers to the lawyers as Texas and Los Angeles. He refers to Anna Nicole's mother as Mama. Hey, Mama. And then he starts talking to her. I mean, colloquial is one thing.
Right.
Folksy is one thing. This just gets silly.
But this hearing is supposed to accomplish one thing. It's supposed to answer one very basic question, that is, who gets to decide where Anna Nicole Smith is buried? Is anything that you're hearing here focusing on that one question?
Some of it. But it only could be relevant, meaning that there's a fundamental legal question the judge has to decide here. And that is, do you look at what would Anna Nicole Smith have wanted?
Her intent.
Or do you look to who's the next of kin? And that would, in almost all likelihood, be the mother. That's the fundamental legal question. If it's next of kin, then why are we going into drug use and who had relationships with who and et cetera? It doesn't make any sense.
And Roy, if we're trying to figure out Anna Nicole Smith's intent, and she didn't expressly put it into her will, which we know she didn't, the fact that she moved to the Bahamas and buried her son Daniel in the Bahamas, doesn't that go a long way toward establishing intent?
Absolutely, Matt. I think Dan's exactly right. 90 or 95% of this hearing is totally irrelevant. We're going into murder, money, drugs, and lots of sex. But what does that have to do with the issue? The issue is, where did she want to be buried? She buried her son in the Bahamas. She bought multiple plots there. I think it is clear that she wants to be buried in the Bahamas next to her son.
Which is what Howard K. Stern, her companion, is saying. So let's just say that we'll give her mom, Virgie, her day in court. What does she have to be able to say to convince this judge that she should be the one to have control of this body?
I have no idea, honestly. I really don't. I don't know what she can possibly say that's relevant here. She, it seems to me, is the adult next of kin here. Yes, you can make an argument that she's got a little baby and there could be a guardian ad litem, but the statute seems pretty clear to me that if you're going to say it's next of kin, it's going to be mom. It also seems pretty clear that Anna didn't like mom a whole lot, and Anna wouldn't want it if mom had to decide it. And so the question is, does Anna get to decide, or does Mama get to decide, in the words of this judge?
Right, and Roy, going back to your point a second ago, we have testimony yesterday from Larry Burkhead, who's the former boyfriend. Maybe he's the father of Danny Lynn, but he clearly has no say in where this body should be buried. Why is he testifying?
Matt, I can't answer that question. I mean, I have to admit, I enjoyed watching his testimony, and he's probably the most credible witness who's taken the witness stand in this entire trial. But it's totally irrelevant. He is there to try to prove that he's the father of the child, but it has nothing to do with taking control of her body and where it should be.
And guys, both of you, 20 seconds on this. Why do we not yet know who is the father of this baby? Maury Povich would have accomplished this in 2 days on his show. Why don't we already know this?
We will know pretty soon. There is a hearing going on in California to determine paternity. That's going to be assessed, but the question here has nothing to do with that. And as a result, you have to wonder, why are we hearing so much of this testimony?
Roy, make you proud to be a lawyer this morning?
Well, let me tell you, this is a soap opera. It is riveting at times. Judge Larry is entertaining. You have to admit it. but any semblance to a real court proceeding is purely coincidental.
It's like Seinfeld. I feel like it's an episode of Seinfeld. I really do. Like they're going to decide between Newman and Kramer over who gets Jerry's bite.
It's a hearing about nothing.
Yeah, it is. It's a hearing about nothing.
I don't think Kramer's going to make it, Dan.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly.
Yeah. All right. We'll cut it off on that. Roy Black, thank you very much. Dan Abrams, thank you.